All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, when there is something new to talk about in Need for Speed in general or for Unbound, we are going to cover it. It's so funny because I literally dropped a video like a day ago about bikes. And then the day before that, I dropped a video about communication. And now we have the feedback that I was just talking about. Hey, what is it about? Motorbikes. That's hilarious. Sure, that could be a coincidence. Who knows, right? I'm not super egotistical to say that I called this. I guarantee this was probably going to drop anyway, right? So who knows? But anyway, it is the Volume 9 feedback that we have been looking forward to. Hot rides and motorbikes. They did drop another one as well, and that one is focused on the actual lockdown game mode itself. We're not going to get to that one today. Will probably be a video tomorrow just because y'all know how these videos get. You know how long they can get, right? So we're not going to go ahead and do that. However, I do have a posted right here for everybody that may forget the questions that are being asked. That way, the answers that are like down here, the 1, 2, and 3, they won't feel foreign to y'all because now y'all can see the questions right here and you can compare them. I thought that was a little quality of life thing I could do for y'all. Let me know how y'all like that. Makes it a little bit easier on you. Makes it a little bit easier on the brain, right on the noggin. But anyway, let's get straight into it, shall we? Alrighty, in Need for Speed Unbound Volume 9, we introduced a new lockdown mode, and for the first time, motorbike where players can ride the BMW S1000. We also brought back Racer X's custom BMW M3 GTR. Y'all already know how I feel about that. I'm not even going to get into it. Y'all already know. From Most Wanted alongside 2 new cars, the Honda Integra, W, and Subaru Impreza, W, adding a modern classic JDM touch to Lakeshore. And like I said before, man, JDM is so hyped and so loved in every single community that they can drop JDM cars and nobody's going to hate them. Everybody's going to love JDM because people love JDM so much, man. I would say that's the only brand or the only like genre of car, if you could call it that they can just drop it in any game, any racing game at any point in time, and people just eat it up every time. Alrighty, so the top 3, the questions right here are: how do you like the bikes? Does riding a bike feel like Need for Speed? How do you like the new cars? Let's see what people got to say. Number 1, bikes are a great addition to the game. Genuinely could be one of the most fun ways to play if they're actually balanced. I mean, they are balanced though. Like, oh no, my notes. Oh, hold up. I gotta bring it back. I'm bringing it back, y'all. Don't worry. I'm bringing it back. Okay. Alrighty. So I would say that bikes are pretty balanced. I mean, I can't name one scenario where a bike has not been balanced. Like in lockdown, the bikes have their specific like area of expertise, right? They're nimble, they're fast, they can get into lockups for free. They are immune to the damage in the storm, right? Cool. But they're not faster than a lot of S Plus vehicles. If you hit a bike, that is like instant, almost an instant down. They can be pushed out of the way very easily. They can't pick up the pickups, the little power-ups. They can't pick those up. And on top of that, when a bike tries to hit a car, it does no damage at all. Nothing. So I would say that they're pretty balanced for what they are. 100%, man. So I don't know if they mean that they're not balanced, but they're 100% very far from meta. And the way that you have to drive with the bikes and the way that they drift and everything, you would be better off using a car 100% of the time. The Lotus smokes that thing. The Regera smokes that thing. The 918, like the Spider, smokes that thing 100%. So I would say it is balanced. It feels like an evolution from how the bikes worked in Midnight Club series, high grip and high speed. It would be nice if this feeling would transfer to the actual cars too. I don't know about the last part, but the only main complaint that I have about the bike handling, like I talked about in my video, is the fact that y'all know that in real life how the bikes they lean all the way down when they're taking corners. You can't, it doesn't feel authentic when you do that in Need for Speed because you can drift with the bike, and it's such a weird feeling. And I think that the angles that you take with the bike, those don't feel like they should be able to be taken. I feel that you should still be able to take sharp angles with the bike, but the way that you're able to do it, I can't really explain it. I'd probably have to show y'all a clip, but the way that you're able to just literally drift the bike like that, nah, that's a little weird. How do you like the new cars? Cars are decent. I just wish we got more out of left field options. No, oh my goodness, no, why are we bringing these? Nah, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I think what they're doing now is perfectly fine. How they're bringing in, and I wouldn't even call these super iconic cars, but I would call them cars that majority of people can recognize, right? And will be hyped for. They have to be hype and they have to be recognizable, right? They don't want to just drop all the brand new super hype cars. Like they already did that. They brought the Dark Horse in. They brought the BMW M2 in, the 2023 one, right? They brought the Maybach. They brought the newer cars, right? But they're also trying to bring in cars that are a little bit older, so good on them, and can be recognizable. I'm not gonna lie to you, if they were to drop cars like this, I guarantee it wouldn't really go over that well with people. I feel like these are the sort of things that, so y'all know in Forza how they have the car packs, and they'll have like banger cars in there, and then they'll have like a few like mid cars, and I'm not gonna call these cars mid, but they're not as hype, right? That's what I think. If they're gonna drop cars like that, that's what they need to be doing. They need to have car packs where like the headliner is something super flashy, something that everybody wants, and then you get these cars with that car. And like you get maybe like what, 7 cars for $5.99 or something like that, right? That way there are people that like these older cars, that like these cars that not a lot of people know of, but still want in the game. That way they have them, so they're pleased, that community. And then people who have, maybe they want the newer cars, the faster cars, the more flashy cars, they're pleased as well. You just bring both of them together. I think that would be one of the best ideas that they could do for this. Alrighty. Okay. So you know what? Hold up. Let me see. What does this do? Okay. Cool. Duh. Obviously, it's gonna do that if that's what the thumbtack means. Okay. Yeah. See, like these type of cars and everything. That's cool. You can have that. That's perfectly fine with having these type of cars in the game. That's cool, right? But just if you're gonna put these cars in the game, you gotta put the banger cars in there too, right? Like you can't just fully do like a super old generation. I think it just needs to be a healthy mix of both, like 4 old cars and 4 new cars. Boom, there we go. Simple. Absolutely love everything about them, though I'd love to be able to use them in free roam, and that's one of the biggest things that they missed out on. I still don't understand to this day why they couldn't have just put the bike in free roam when the asset is in the game. Lockdown literally is free roam, except you have a bunch of cops and other players after you. It's literally the same exact map. So obviously the bike can be driven on the map, right? So I don't understand why these assets are not being used in free roam and not in single player. I don't understand that. Same with the cops. This might sound controversial, but they are more enjoyable to drive than any car in Unbound. The grip handling is pretty straightforward and reminds me of old Need for Speed games. I don't know about all that now, buddy. But hey, that's your opinion, bro. Can't give any feedback here as I'm yet to drive the Subi, nor do I have the speed pass to get the Honda. Dang, brother, that's tough. I ain't gonna lie, that's tough. The Subi's free, isn't it? I'm pretty sure the Subi's free. Hey, man. It is what it is. Maybe he's not playing the game. Add new bikes in both lockdown and free roam. They could do that for the new volume, but I doubt it. I think that this right here was really just to introduce something into the game. Like this is Unbound, if y'all notice, is a game that has a lot of first, right? First for these animations, first for the bike, first for lockdown, first for these volume updates, first for Kaizen, all that sort of stuff. So I think that the bike was put into the game to test out the waters, because everybody knew about bikes in Need for Speed, right? Like that wasn't something that was super alien. They knew about it in Heat. But the dev team didn't know how the bike would actually handle with other cars, handle in the game mode. Would it break the game? Would it be too fast? Would it be too OP? How would people enjoy the handling, stuff like that? And that's why this feedback right here is important, because it gives them that insight. So now when the next game comes, they can drop bikes immediately. They should already have bikes in the garage able to be sold for the next game. So I think that the bike here was, I get that a lot of people want new bikes and everything, but I think they intentionally dropped one bike. They had a bunch of people behind this bike and only made one bike. I think they only made one. I don't think they made multiple bikes. I really don't. Just so they can test it out and see what's going on and see if this is something that the people vibe with. And there we go. That's what I think this is for. That's why I don't think there are new bikes or that they're going to add new bikes. I don't think that they're going to do that for the next volume. Need more OG Need for Speed inspired cars in lockdown mode. Okay. I mean, does riding a bike feel like Need for Speed? This is not even what they're asking for. How do you like the bikes? You didn't even tell us how you like the bikes. And no, we don't need any more OG Need for Speed inspired cars. Why do people keep asking for this? Now, what's about to come out of my mouth is clearly my opinion. If you feel differently, then by all means. But can we get away from bringing back OG stuff? There is so much OG stuff in Unbound already. There is so much stuff inspired. We literally have a game mode based off of an old game. All the cars that were in Unbound that were new characters and everything, literally went back and painted their cars almost identical to the older cars as a homage. If that's like, I don't understand how much more OG can we get? We got Hot Pursuit back in Unbound again, and Hot Pursuit just had a remaster, and they had another. They just had a remaster and got the original game. We got Most Wanted back in Need for Speed. We got Razor back in Need for Speed. The M3 back in Need for Speed. We have Drift and Drag back in Need for Speed. All these volumes that were inspired by previous games. How much more OG stuff can we need? Like, that's the crazy part about this stuff. Y'all will keep complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining. And the funny part about it is, even if they were to remake an old Need for Speed game, y'all would still find something to complain about. It's not OG enough. Well, if it's not OG enough, go play the original game, brother. OG, like, go play the original game. We don't need any more OG inspired cars in lockdown. We have so many cars. Like, come on, man. It would be great if we got designer special cars, which will feature in upcoming lockdown mode. I mean, all this sort of stuff that y'all are asking for requires a lot of time and probably a lot of effort and money. Best update by far. Bike is awesome. Wasn't a fan of it at first, but it absolutely grew on me. It's so much fun to use. Facts. Hope bikes continue to appear in the franchise going forward, which I think they will. I think that in the next Need for Speed, I think there'll be definitely this bike. This bike will be back. And I think they'll add 2 or 3 more. I think that would be a healthy mix, right? You're able to customize each one of those bikes. Of course, one of the bikes is going to be the better of all 4 of them. But I think 4 bikes would be pretty nice. That's the sweet spot between overkill, too many bikes in the game, and there's not enough bikes in the game. I think that would be perfect. Some of them can handle better in grip. Some of them can handle better in drift, or however they want to do that handling model. Some of them will be able to take turns tighter or faster. Some of them are slower, but are more stable. There we go. I don't want them to overshadow the cars, but if they appear in a similar fashion like in Midnight Club, I think it'd be awesome. Lockdown is insanely addictive, though I feel it would work a bit better as a solo mode, and here we go. I knew this was coming. I knew a solo mode was coming. The amount of times I've gotten screwed over by other people, it's just really annoying. Other than that, it's insanely fun. Hey, that's just what comes. Hey, when you're in the kitchen, be prepared to be burned or get the oil splashed on you. That's just how it is. If you're cooking in the kitchen with oil, be prepared to be stung by that oil. Simple as that. If you make the conscious decision with no gun to your head and say, hey, I want to go in this PvP mode, and then you get PvP'd, you get smoked up, you can only really blame it on yourself at that point, right? So no, it doesn't need to be a solo mode. What would you even do in the solo mode? What would be the whole purpose of the solo mode? You're just going to be in there by yourself and then grind out the cars, grind out money? You could do that sort of stuff in single player. You can grind out money in single player. I don't understand why it needs to be a solo mode. The whole point, what makes it fun is PvP. That's what makes it fun in general. So I don't know, man. I don't know about that. The Honda and the Subaru are fine. Nothing special. The Honda. I'll be honest, I haven't really used them that much. And okay, that now it makes sense. They're just not that interesting to me, though I feel like this is more of a statement about me than the cars. I love that he recognizes that. I love that. Love Razor's M3 and the continuity it brings with it. Did I say that right? I don't think I said that right, y'all. I don't think I said this right. Continuity. That's what it is. Continuity. Duh. Continuity. I had a brain fart. My bad. Hey, don't mention that in the comments. I know that I had a brain fart, okay? Dang. Continuity. Also happy to see Razor himself return. So it's so funny, right? Because people were asking for more OG. And then we have OG, OG, and OG. Like right here. Hope we can see more of the old cast return in future games, even if it's just in cameos. And you know what? Keep it in cameos. Keep it in cameos. If they're going to bring this old cast, keep it in cameos. Because why are you coming back in the first place? What could you possibly have in the story that needs to be, that you need to be brought up again for another game? You see what I'm saying? So just have it be cameos. Have it be, oh, I saw him in a garage one day or something like that. And that's it. Leave it at that. That way people can be like, oh, that's him. That's him. But you can focus on the new characters. Focus on the new story that you're trying to build up, right? I always felt bikes wouldn't fit into Need for Speed, but with the introduction of the lockdown game mode, they have a great purpose and really fun to ride. Excellent, right? I love that they gave the bike a purpose as opposed to just being another vehicle, right? They gave it a reason to exist. Now, I did drive it. It felt like I was in Need for Speed. It being fragile but agile, exactly. Adds depth to the gameplay, especially against cops. Even though Lakeshore cops are weak, not them Raptors. Them Raptors, yo, I feel like people don't be having the same experiences as me. Because I'm like, yo, there's no way that y'all are calling these cops weak when you're literally driving and a Raptor will come out of nowhere 200 miles per hour and bring you down to minimal health. You just get out of a gas station and then boom, just like that. I refuse. Y'all can't be playing the same game. They have the best handling model so far. I mean, their handling model is the same as all the new cars. It's Kaizen. Especially little details like antennas coming up and down upon starting the vehicle is a cool addition, and would like to see more things like that. Currently, it's better to work on physics rather than handling, but as I said, handling feels at its best compared to every other car in the game. It's the same handling, y'all. In case y'all don't know, all the cars past the Audis, though, all that handling is the same. Of course, there's different weight distribution. Some of them are all-wheel drive, some of them are rear wheel, like the Dark Horse. Some of them are front wheel, like the Integra. But it's the same handling for all of them. So it's just Kaizen handling in general, y'all. Solo mode, please give us solo mode for lockdown. No, bro. This right here, I don't know why people are like, this right here does not work. Yeah, like this right here, it's so technical that first you have to turn off crossplay, then you have to set your lobby to private, then you have to hope that people are not going to join up. This right here does not work, y'all. There is no perfect way to get solo lobbies in lockdown because it's not it's not supposed to have solo lobbies. See what I'm saying? Right, if you can't handle the heat, stay out the kitchen. You said it best. Like, people asking for solo mode, just don't play lockdown. There are other ways to get money. There are other ways to, like, if it really bothers you that much, go take one of the M3s and just put a wrap on it that looks like the old M3. If it really bothers you that much, right? But, I mean, stop playing lockdown if you're going to ask for something that is completely opposite of lockdown. Why are you putting yourself through this? Why, if you don't like PvP, then just stay in single player or do something else that would make you happy. Why are you still playing lockdown if you don't like lockdown? It doesn't make sense. Y'all are like, they do it to themselves. Nobody else is doing it to you. Bikes are a neat addition. The handling's a little odd sometimes. It is. Yeah, it's like a slow turn. It shouldn't be slow to get into a turn, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm glad this person said that. It should be where we're able to take it at speed, but we have to have the angle correctly. But generally, they feel really cool to ride. They're also kind of loud, but that's more to do with most cars being too quiet. I'm not sure it feels like what I know Need for Speed to be, but them being something new is kind of the point, right? They're a really cool addition regardless. Honda and Tubi are very cool and feel great, as do most of the other Kaizen cars. I'm starting to notice that their steering sensitivity on all of them is a little lower than the older handling model though, which can be a little odd when combined with their excellent grip. I often find myself underestimating how tightly I'm going to turn and biting in it too hard because it takes a moment for the wheels to reach their target angle. I mean, that just comes with practice, to be honest. That's really all I can say about that. The more that you use the cars, the more that you'll automatically know, and it'll become muscle memory on how tight you can make a turn, when to boost. Can I actually push the acceleration through this turn, or do I need to micro drift, or do I need to have throttle control, things like that. So most of the hot rods look really good, but I wish they didn't all have the default tag. Its colors don't really fit any of them. Would have been cool if all the cars you can get in Lockdown had a different tag appropriate to their appearance, or if you could choose our own personal default tag somewhere. Also, huge fan of the worn, grimy aesthetic a lot of the Lockdown cars have. Some of the most unique mods on the new ones, like the headlights on the Integra, are also really cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Bikes are good, but can you please fix the bikes getting stuck on the ground after a small collision or after a jump? It's getting annoying. So I haven't experienced this, but I've seen this happen, so I know it exists. They need to fix that, and they need to fix the thing. I don't know how to explain it. It's where you're driving, and then the bike will just randomly like twitch, and it has nothing to do with you. Like, you'll be doing an action on the bike, and the bike will just randomly like stiffen up or randomly like twitch or something. They need to fix that as well. The bike feels great, and once you get how the leaning works, it really starts being fun. Would be great to see more bikes as well as customization for them in future Need for Speed titles. Yep, we talked about this in the video about the bikes. I do think it was a missed opportunity, but at the same time, I do think that, once again, they're trying new things. They want to make sure that the bike works, that the bike has a purpose, that the bike will actually be used before they start doing extra stuff, right? So, and I get it, right? You don't want to just jump straight in the water. You want to dip your toe in, right? Make sure that the water's not too cold. And that's what they did with the bike. They're not going to drop 10 bikes. They're not going to drop a new handling model for the bikes or anything like that, because they don't know if y'all would even like the bike. So that's what this is for right here. The feedback. Now, once they read the feedback and see that people do like the bike, I guarantee the next game is going to have multiple bikes off rip. Maybe some new bikes that will be dropped in like the season pass or whatever. And they're probably going to have a handling model. That's probably, and you're going to be able to customize them. It very much does. Okay, nothing to add. I'm glad I put this right here. I love them. It's great seeing some more classic tuners in the game. I especially love the licensed body kits. They also feel great to drive. Facts. The new handling model all the recently added cars got also transfers very nicely to the front wheel drive Integra. Right. Good. Please add official solo lockdown mode. I'm not playing with griefers, all-time bikers. What? That's so crazy, because the stuff that y'all say makes no sense, because you could be an all-time biker. Just because you are losing your streak does not mean that everybody else needs to stop using bikes off rip. You need to build your streak up, get a bike, and then you can be an all-time biker. That's like the stuff that they're complaining about. They do it to themselves. Y'all literally do it to yourself. Like, I don't understand. If griefers are really getting that bad, shut your game off and go into a new lobby. If it's really that bad, but y'all would rather just keep all your pride and try and beat the griefer and then lose, and then you go on Reddit and complain about it, saying that you want a official solo lockdown mode. Okay. The least played volume for me, unfortunately, even though the potential in this mode is great. Too random, right? See, too much depends on luck and RNG and all this sort of stuff right here. Clearly, Lockdown is not for you. Stop playing Lockdown. You're complaining about things that were intentionally put in the game to make the game last longer. And now you're just over here complaining on the Reddit. Too random. Too much depends on luck and RNG. And the thing about it is, because if there was missions where you could get every single blacklist car, I guarantee people would do it in the first day. And they'd be complaining, saying, oh, this volume lockdown, there's nothing to do, all that sort of stuff. So the problem with the Need for Speed community is that a lot of y'all don't even know what you want. A lot of y'all just complain just to complain. Motivation says, I like it, still feels like Need for Speed. I don't know about new cars, but I'd love to get something like what? You don't know about the new cars? I'm just gonna ignore this one, because they're asking for something and you're not even giving them what they're asking for. The bikes handle surprisingly well. I was expecting a Just Cause. Yeah. But it was well done. Yes, it does feel like Need for Speed. A franchise that's been going for 30 years shouldn't have its identity bound in that way. Just please make use of the dirt trails already on the map and add some dirt racing events. I agree. To me, it's kind of ridiculous how good the bikes feel to drive, considering that we only have them in lockdown and in a race mode, but not in free roam. When I learned that we can actually recreate the wheelie donuts from the trailer, I fell in love with them. Yeah, that is a good. I love how they did that, especially with the breakdancing animation that the driver does when doing a wheelie. I love that they added that in there, man. That's actually peak. That's actually peak. Even as a bike rider myself, I thought I wouldn't want bikes in Need for Speed, but now I would love to see more of them, especially something like choppers. Okay. Bike is cool, but I wish I could see my own character on it. Even if you force the racing helmet on them. Feels cool. I only wish we got more bikes for other performance classes, or maybe even different types like dirt bikes, so we could have more variety. You know what? And that would actually be a really good idea. I didn't even think about that. Because I've been asking, and so many other people, like literally a comment before, were asking for like dirt tracks and everything. Imagine if we had dirt bikes, ATV. Now ATVs, that, man, I don't know about that. That could work. That could work, right? But imagine if we got like a whole dirt DLC, dirt bikes, dune buggies, ATVs. That would be insane. Oh, that would be so crazy. I don't even, like, my mind is blown right now. That would be insane. There are so many dirt paths in this game that are just not being used, right? We have off-road tires that majority of the time are not being used for their intended purpose. And then we have we could get a brand new volume that could have more content into the game. Man, they really got to capitalize on some of this stuff, man. They really do. The bike is such a neat addition. It works almost perfectly. If Rockstar aren't going to make another Midnight Club where I can race bikes against cars, then the next best thing is bringing that to Need for Speed. I doubt another Midnight Club is coming, bro. I really do. Just because GTA makes them so much money that they don't even need to do a Midnight Club. Because there's racing in GTA. You see what I'm saying? Even though the racing is not as good as it is in Midnight Club, there's racing in GTA. And that's where a lot of the community has went to GTA. So I think that GTA just makes them too much money. It takes too much time to make. It makes them too much money that they don't even, there's no, like, if I was an exec at Rockstar, I wouldn't even be looking at Midnight Club. Because why are we making a Midnight Club when we can make another GTA and make $10 billion off of it? See what I'm saying? The bike is easily the best addition to the franchise in the past 4 games. And the handling of them feels very smooth and fun to drive around. Better than the cars even. It's the sole reason I played Lockdown, so I could just drive around the map on them. See, some people just enjoy Lockdown. And I feel like if the bikes were in single player, that's what a lot of people just do. I saw a video of a guy on TikTok in single player, and now I see what y'all just do in single player all day. Y'all pick a car and y'all just drift around corners and drive through the city, and like that's literally all y'all do. So I feel like if the bikes were in single player, a lot of y'all would just leave multiplayer and just go to single player and just drive around in the bike. We got more comments. Dang. How many more comments? Oh my goodness. Holy moly, bro. I'm not usually a fan of bikes and racing games, but I think the physics were really well done. The sense of speed is great. That's what I'm saying. Like, the sense of speed on the bike feels way better than the cars. Have y'all noticed that? It feels way, way, way better than all the cars. And it may be because it's smaller, but it feels just way better. And the mobility, of course, is going to be better because it's a bike. Let's see. The bike feels absolutely amazing, fragile, but agile, as Racer X would say. Now that I think about it, it does feel like Need for Speed. Yep, they are good. I enjoy taking the lockdown versions. Yeah, the lockdown versions was a really good thing because it makes the Subaru look fire and the Integra look fire. So, yeah. And yeah, Hot Pursuit playlists need to be added back to PvP. Why did they even take those out? There's enough space on the screen to add all 4. Why is it not lockdown all the way to the left, PvP, free roam, Hot Pursuit? There's just have 4 of them. That's all you got to do. Like, I don't understand why they took one of the most popular game modes out. I get that you want people to play Lockdown, but people are going to play Lockdown regardless. Especially if it's a new mode, they're going to play it regardless. Bike felt nice, good enough in my opinion. Kind of overpowered off-road though. New cars, go to choice. Put an anti-cheat system. Okay. Yeah, oh my goodness. Not dropping names is crazy. That is insane to me. That's hilarious. Cool and good. We kind of need more of it. It does. It's fast control like Dream. That second about Racer X's BMW M3 GTR, I think it's the best car done in all the updates. That has to be the most crazy cap I've ever seen. To be honest, the R8 is way better than this. And I feel like some people, not saying this person right here, but some people would rather have this one car in the game, just having Racer X's BMW in the game, or Razor in the game, than all the other cars in the game. Like that's so crazy to me to think about. That the nostalgia has y'all boys in a chokehold. That crazy that y'all are just putting this M3, which has already been in multiple games, by the way. You're putting this M3 above all the other cars. Like that thing, the M3 handles okay. It's okay at speed. It's decent, right? But you have the R8, which literally changed the game. That's the best car done in all the updates. The M3, I'm crying. The M3 was already in the game. The bike is awesome. I hope in the future to see more of them and also be able to be used in free roam. Providing it has an equal balance between cars and bikes, it wouldn't really lose the formula. I think cars will always be a little bit better than bikes, just because the cars are just like micro drifting, bursting around the corners. It's just always going to be better in my opinion. Plus they can take the turns as sharp or as wide as they want to, grip or drift. So I don't know. Bikes are fun, insanely OP. The weird fact is that if properly done, those things can almost deal a quarter of your car's health bar, which is nonsense. What? I would love to see something like that. I would love to see a bike do damage to a car. I would love to see that, because I have yet to see that. I hate the fact that almost all the blacklist cars aren't either faithful or their original to their original. Oh my goodness, to their original versions. Either different models. Yes, I understand licensing problems, but at least you could have done like West C6 and modernized the cars instead of different models. It might sound like a purist, but it's honestly a missed opportunity. I mean, brother, be happy that it even got brought into the game in the first place. Unbound is not trying to be like, Unbound is its own thing. It's not trying to be most wanted. If you read why they're not the original models, of course it's probably because of licensing, but the reason that they have the lore reason is because they got inspiration from the old people. These are their own characters. All these new guys from the story are their own people. Why are we trying to make them the older guys? Leave the older guys alone. Oh my goodness. This nostalgia is going to ruin this community. It's 100% it's going to ruin it. It is. Let's see. It was fun. Okay. Oh my goodness. The bike could be perfect if drift entry can be totally turned off or make it 100% grip. Facts. Facts. Let's see what anybody. Let's see what the bottom guy said. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is a glitch. Let's see what the. Okay. When we all focus back to Need for Speed Heat again and add bikes and cars that were supposed to roll into Need for Speed Heat, bro, does bro not have a PS5? I think that's what that is, man. Like, bro, my man is still in the old gen console. No, bro, right? It's dead already. Let it go, bro. Get a PS5, dude. Ain't nobody going back to Need for Speed Heat. I can see why he got downvoted, man. Like, that's insane. I don't even know who this is. I don't even know who this is, bro. Like, I don't know who that is. Anyway, y'all. Anyway, overall, it was about stuff that I expected. I knew there was going to be a little bit of solo in there. That's why I'm really not trying to look at this one right here. Because I already, bro, All people are gonna say is solo, 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 solo. That's all they're gonna do, bro. Solo, solo, solo. We want original cars. We want solo. This community is a mess, y'all. Like this community makes me age faster, 100%. But let me know how you guys feel about this. Obviously not this one. We're gonna get to this one tomorrow. But let me know how you guys feel about bikes in general. If you enjoyed, make sure to go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. And I will see y'all all in the video tomorrow.